Let's talk about Trump's new plane.
Looks badass.
It is.
Badass.
Some people are saying
He's doing homeschooling on that plane now.
I would too.
President Trump preparing for a major foreign trip, leaving tomorrow.
Now, my question is, you can give him a plane, and you can give him a plane that's, in size, the size of his of what our current, Air Force One.
Who was this? Was it Qatar?
Yeah, Qatar. But
and they're friendly, aren't they?
I don't think. Here's the thing: you can give them a plane that's comparable in size and performance and things like that. But there's so many. They don't make a stock plane that has all of the things that the Air Force One has, including bulletproof sides, and they have air deflection missiles. I don't know if the plane that Qatar is giving him can be equipped. I think you have to go to special military places and stuff like that to have them equip the presidential plane with all they
might work on it. They might be I saw that he was supposed to use it as Air Force One. I don't know if I read that incorrectly.
Yeah, no, he's supposed to, and then when he's done, it goes to his presidential library.
Yeah,
but
so they're probably going to be working on it while he's using the current Air Force One.
But that means you would have to. Okay, then we have to take possession of it and then take it to the place that does all of our,
all of our presidential upgrades to the plane.
Yeah, I mean, for real, because I don't think that you can let the people that manufacture that plane that Qatar's buying it from, unless it's a Boeing or whatever manufacturer that does Trump's, I don't think you can let them.
It is a Boeing.
Okay.
It's a Boeing 747-8.
Do they just order, hey, listen, we want to buy, just put the presidential package on it.
And it looks like, they put the presidential package.
Oh, okay.
They already had it on there?
No.
They're getting it.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say Qatar, man. That was really thoughtful group.
And thank you to Qatar. Right?
Well, we didn't get anything.
I think it's the biggest gift that any president's ever received, and they're checking the legalities of it now.
You hope they didn't put a gremlin in it. I would be a little wary of getting a plane from a foreign sort of.
Well, they're going to go through it.
Please, hi, I'm Phil Lipoff.
No, I agree.
Qatar is where Hamas sent their leader during negotiations. I'm a Trumpster. I love Trump. I love it. And I think this should be okay in the long run. But Qatar does not have clean hands.
Jay, they're giving the order to Boeing, and Boeing's building it.
No, I understand that.
So Qatar it's not going to touch the plane.
I know that part's kind of a joke, but the other part is just look at who Qatar is.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Hamas was just hiding out there, Bubba, after October 7th.
But Jay, that's a Trump. That comes down to a Trump thing, right? If he's going to accept a plane from
he's already said
a nation that's kind of a little sketchy.
I think it has to go through. I think ultimately it has to be approved by Congress and the Defense Department. I think.
Here's the deal, man, and it's never going to be on Qatar soil. It's going to come from Boeing. Qatar's just paying for it.
Stops in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE over the next several days, and notably, no plans to visit Israel. The trade war, ongoing attacks in the Middle East, and peace talks in the Russia-Ukraine war are expected to dominate much of that discussion. And while in Qatar, sources tell ABC News, President Trump is expected to accept what's likely the most expensive gift a foreign government has ever given to a U.S. president, a super luxury Boeing 747-8 jumbo jet the president plans to use as the new Air Force One. Aviation experts say the plane is worth an estimated $400 million before the U.S. Air Force makes modifications that the president will need. Let's get right to ABC News senior White House correspondent.
So they're saying we're going to take it, and then we got to take it right to our Air Force for them to put on the
bells and whistles.
The presidential bells and whistles.
It looks like, so according to this article in USA Today, is that Boeing has obviously planes out there, and they're ordering one from them, and then Boeing will send the plane to where they need to get all the upgrades and things like that.
National security and defense analyst Mick Mulroy. Selena, I want to begin with you. What are
it's looking like Trump gets to keep it, too.
President Trump's top priorities.
But I would think that if Trump gets to keep it and it goes right to the presidential library, but he still wants to fly it around, do they have to take all the presidential Iggies off of it when he's no longer president?
Outside of the jet with this trip to the Middle East, and does this luxury plane from Qatar raise any red flags in Washington?
Yeah, well, first of all, the fact that the president is choosing Saudi Arabia as the first major foreign trip of his second term just signifies this growing political and economic relationship between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia under the Trump administration. You'll remember that Saudi Arabia was also where President Trump had chosen to take his first foreign trip in his first term, and he's once again breaking tradition by skipping over America's closest neighbors. Now, this does come as the Gulf has played a critical role in mediating conflicts over
because Saudi Arabia has the most money
around the world,
he wants to finish the
war in
Abraham
Ukraine,
Accords.
with Saudi Arabia serving as a venue for separate U.S. talks with both Russia and Ukraine. This also comes as the Trump administration is trying to make progress when it comes to the humanitarian crisis and the war in Gaza. Now, when it comes to that luxury plane, it certainly raises questions about whether or not it's legal for the Trump administration and ultimately the Trump Presidential Library Foundation to accept such a valuable gift from a foreign power. But sources are telling us that both the White House and
it looks like it's in West Palm Beach now. That's what it says, February 2025.
Department,
or this just happens to be one
stock footage
of justice.
This article I'm reading is like they're trying to like make sure that people understand it's not like some used plane from Qatar that's gonna just be sent over.
That's everyone Prince's plane. You get the Prince's old plane.
Exactly.
Come with any conditions. It's not conditioned on any official act. They're considering that this does not constitute bribery.
Mick, what's most at stake as President Trump meets with these leaders?
So, Phil, of course.
Well, what's most at stake is Donald want to make sure that it's completely trimmed out in gold on the inside, and that there's no platinum or silver or anything like that.
There is a lot of economic aspects.
Donald Trump doesn't do stainless steel or brushed aluminum. He only does pure gold, so the deal's going to completely fall through.
Thanks to this, particularly investments in the United States when it comes to these countries. But it's also important to point out that a lot of our military assets in the region are housed and hosted by these countries. Including our forward command center for Central Command and our major air operations, major maritime operations are all in this region.
There you go. How would you to live like that?
Are hosted by the countries.
That guy is really good at. I want that guy to move me.
Look at the pack on that one truck.
I know.
So it is important for us to show our appreciation for that because it gives us the ability to project force to this region that's really unparalleled among any other countries.
And Selena, these trade talks between the U.S. and China are underway, as you know, in Switzerland. I know you've been digging into this. Any progress towards lowering tariffs yet?
Yeah, well, we're on day 2 now of these talks in Switzerland, and it's unclear exactly where these discussions stand, but we're getting positive signs from the White House. So you have President Trump posting on Truth Social that great progress is being made, adding that it was a, quote, total reset. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told reporters.
No, they'd reduced it by 115%, or so it's down to 30 and 15. It's an enormous change, and there's the markets are going ballistic this morning.
Yeah.
So they actually, it was more than just a de-escalation. They made some major improvements.
So you're saying right now?
I'm saying right now the market's going to go crazy because China and Scott Bessent got into the room this weekend and they came up with a massive reduction in the amount of taxes. Ours went from 145% to, I think, 10%.
Oh, my God, the place is going to go crazy.
Yeah, the market was up 1,000 a second ago.
I was going to say the market was pre-market up like 900 points.
Quote, substantial progress has been made and that a briefing will be held tomorrow.
It's funny, all weekend they were talking about how England, we didn't really have a deal and nothing's going to happen. It's all symbolic. Why can't the media just root for success? We're going through the transition time that the president said that we were going to expect. It may be shorter than we expected. The market is almost back to where it was at its high. It's only 3,500 points off, 4,000 points off. But gas is down 30 cents a gallon. Interest rates are down. Groceries are down. Bread and butter
groceries
stuff
ain't
is
down.
down.
I was at Publix on Saturday.
They are actually. Eggs are down.
Jay doesn't go to the grocery store.
Yes, I do.
Jay doesn't go to the grocery store.
I was there.
Ship.com. No.
Exactly.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com.
Right now.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.